But we have to work on honing those skills. And so the most important part of honing that skill is to learn how to let yourself be on the side. I promise you, if you put your own thoughts, your own opinions, your own religious beliefs, your own biases, your own prejudices, your own sense of this is who I am, I promise you if you put that over here, it won't go away. You won't lose it. You can pick it up on your way out. I promise you. It will be at the coat check. You give them your number, they'll give you back to yourself. But you can put it over there and not lose it. And by doing that, by putting it over there, you can actually have it's kind of like being on a holodeck. You can have a virtual experience of what's going on in another human being. And by doing that, we give the greatest gift that anyone can have. It's the one that I want to sign up for. It's why I want to train you all to do this, because maybe you'll be there when it's my time to go. The greatest gift that we can give another person is to be in that life raft with them. Let me tell you a story about the life raft. So I want you to picture this. Close your eyes if you want to, but I want you to kind of go inside yourself and picture this for a moment. So you have just spent your life savings, maybe not your life savings, but you spent a lot of money to buy this trip that you went on, this big cruise ship. You know, the kind where you get all the food for free and you gain 10 pounds over a week. So you went to your most amazing destination, some island that I can't pronounce someplace. You went on this cruise and you're having the grandest time, really taking it all in and really appreciating life. And all of a sudden you find yourself in the water. The boat sank. I know everybody thinks these days that could never happen, but this particular boat that you went on, it sank. So just go with me with this for a moment. So you were lucky enough when this boat sank to get into this raft. It's not a big boat, this little raft. Let's say it's about, like 10 feet long. Fairly decent size, but it's still a raft, right? And there's nobody in this raft with you. You're all by yourself, there's no survivors. And if there are survivors, you all got split off from each other. So it's been about, let's say it's been about a week in the raft. Had some rations, had some water to drink, but that's it. The first few days of your confinement to this raft, you were just really, really, really thankful because you didn't go down and you're there. And thankful for this really awesome raft that you have. And absolutely certain that you're going to be okay, that you're going to be rescued, that there will be an antidote to the disease, that there will be a chemotherapy that will be effective, that you will go into remission, that there is a solution to the problem that you're faced with. You're sure of it. So as the days roll by, your assuredness of your survival begins to diminish. And you begin to wonder, wow, like I never in a million years thought that this is how I would go out. Could it be? And so you go through this process of going from disbelief to rage. Where is MacGyver when we need him? You're trying to figure out, there's got to be a way to get myself out of this mess because this can't happen to me. I didn't agree to this. I did not sign the document that said, yes, I will go out at this age and in this way. So you go through the process of trying to figure it out. Do everything you can to rescue yourself, to make yourself better. It's not working. You still have run out of water. And you begin to fall into despair. You begin to resolve yourself that there isn't any help coming, and this is going to be your way out. And just around the time that you fall into despair, you see this little prick of water, this, just this tiny little spout of water coming out from the raft. And the first thing you do, what do? Push done, right? Problem solved. So that's the first thing you do. But what happens after a day when you got to go to sleep at some point? So you take a little nap, you fall asleep, and you wake up, and there's about this much water in the bottom of the raft. So you get it out as best you can. Put your finger over the hole. And then after a couple of days have gone by, the hole starts to get bigger. The puddle in the bottom of the raft begins to get bigger. And now there's a terror that comes over you. as you begin to realize not only is no one coming to rescue you, but really, no one's coming to rescue you. Really. There's no amount of anything that's going to fix this. And just when you think it cannot get worse, the hole is getting bigger, they didn't come with a patch kit, there's nothing to be done, the water in the raft is getting deeper, there's no way to get it out. Just when you think it can't get any worse, you start seeing some sharks decide that they're going to have fun with you and circle your raft. And they're there all day. They aren't just like hanging out to say hey, they're going to wait. They're just going to wait you out. Imagine how you'd feel if that was real. Imagine it is real. Now I want you to imagine in this moment of utter terror, because you're contemplating, should I jump in and maybe I'll drown quickly? Or will the shark eat me? Which way do I want to go? Drowning? Eaten by a shark? I don't want to make that choice, do you? Just when you think your terror cannot get any worse, you look up and there's a friend in the raft. A smiling face, someone with kind eyes, who can understand what green looks like. Is that person going to solve the problem? No. They don't have a helicopter and paramedics or a big ship with them. They're just sitting there with you in the same predicament. They're going down too. So you know that that's not Superman sitting with you, or Wonder Woman. You know that they're not going to fix it. But there's something about when that person says, would you take my hand? Would you tell me about that time when you hit the ball out of the park and everybody on the team picked you up over their shoulders and thanked you for winning that game? Would you tell me about the time that you earned that degree and made your family proud of all the work that you put in? Tell me about the day that your child was born and the miracle that you had in your arms. Tell me about your sadness. Tell me about that unrequited love that you never got a chance to fulfill. Or that race that you were absolutely going to do that you never got a chance to do. Could we just be together in all of it? And you know what? Let's look up today. Look how blue the sky is. Look how incredible the clouds look in contrast to the blue sky. And how blue the water is today. And how incredibly crisp the air is. Could we just be here together? Come what may. And there's something about having another human being who's in the experience with you and cares and has the capacity to see what green looks like from behind your eyes. There's something about that that is the difference between life and death. And that's what I mean when I talk about living through your death. We all know that death is death, and it's absolute. And we don't live at the end of the process of death. But there is a difference between dying at the diagnosis, or even at the awareness. Some people die when it occurs to them that they're going to die someday. They just go ahead and die right then of disappointment and dismay, despair. But there's something about knowing that another human being is connected to you, will walk through it with you, can see green from behind your eyes. That is the difference between giving up and letting your spirit die before your body takes its last breath, and living those last breaths all the way through with an awakened awareness of every inch of it, not just all the happy stuff, every bit of it. I don't know about you, but for me, I accept life as it comes. And maybe this comes because I've spent so much time sitting with people as they are gonna die. walking through the death experience with them. Maybe this is a bit of the wisdom that's come from that. But I take life as it comes because I know that no one's guaranteeing me anything. I don't get a do-over, neither do you, by the way. I don't get, time extra added for good behavior, neither do you. I don't get to say, hey, I got a raw deal in that childhood, or I got a raw deal in that marriage, so I get to have extra time. It doesn't work like that. Good people die at the same rate that bad people die, believe it or not. I want all of my life. Because I know that if I spend my whole life waiting for the happy moments, I might not have very much life. Why is that? Is that because I'm not a happy person? It's not that. It's that if we spend our lives chasing after the happy carrot, we spend our lives living for something that hasn't happened yet. If we spend our lives fully immersed in the experience of being in that life raft, when our time comes for the life raft experience to happen, if we spend our lives cultivating the ability, working up the muscles to sit in whatever it is, be it disappointment, frustration, rage, sadness, grief, low self-esteem, fear, terror, we also get to sit in joy, peace, community, love, yearning, hope. If we are willing to take all of it, then we miss none of it. If we are only willing to have the happy stuff, we miss a whole bunch of other very rich tapestry of life. That's why it's important to learn how to live through the experience of death. And that's what being a death midwife, a hospice worker, anyone who, even if you have a family member, honestly, that's part of how I learned how to do this, was sitting with family members. It wasn't always as a professional, as a therapist and doctor. It was also as a family member and friend. If we give ourselves over to the awareness of and the participation in the death process, then it enriches us. Because it enables us not only to learn the lessons that wise people who go through the death experience will hand to us, but it also gives us the ability to work those muscles in ourselves. Learn how to accept all of life as it comes, every moment of it. Thank you.